What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the second album by American rapper Kid Ink based on this particular product. It's called My Own Lane and it came out in the winter of 2014. Now within Fair's about here as far as this particular album, basically Kid Ink was part of like the ratchet boom that happened in like the early mid 2010s as far as those particular album acts and pitch like that. If you're familiar with DJ Mustard type beats, some folks pitch like that, particularly folks like Tyga, Tyga, Ty Dolla Sign, a little bit of Wiz Khalifa in there, some stuff, folks. Also pitches like Ray Sremmerd, some stuff, folks like that. The particular Juicy J and like the occasional type sense, some of the folks, some of the pitch, I think a little bit of Big Sean in there as well, pitch like that. It's kind of hit type appeal, pretty prominent within those aspects between like about mid or so 2013, about the first half of 2015, pitch like that. It was a good type fray within some of the pitches, aspects like that. Tyga had a pretty rampant type run with some of those type pitches, but the aspects far as saying, particularly it was a good nice sound within those type pitches, but it was just kind of like a buoy and a vacation from like the aspect like the pounding kind of drill type music that came out between like the late 2000s to early 2010s, and also before like the fair like the Dirty Sprite 2 and What a Time to Be Alive era by Drake and Future and some stuff, folks like that kind of became rampant in about the mid 2015 or so, pitch like that. So it's kind of variety, some of those stuff airs just a little bit more meme centric, some of these ratchet type tunes, pitch like that, just kind of the hit type varieties, more gaffing and gallivanting, and not say gaff in terms of mistake, but just gaffing like bullshitting, some of fairs like that, just larks and fairs like that, since that pitches amongst it. Chris Brown was another of these type folks that was pretty popular around that time with that sort of particular sounds as pitched like that. In the hit type aspects as far as saying, so some banging typeness, definitely some prolific kind of dance bangs on here, pitch like that. Now it kind of has traces, there is a little bit of mixtape type varieties on here, but it's not as full bound prominent within these type pitches. The aspects as far as saying just the product, as some of these type folks from like the mixtape era started to get towards more like album type fair, pitch like that. It was kind of phrase as far as some of these type varieties. Future was starting to flesh things out with Pluto and Honest, some stuff fair since the pitch as far as saying, but this is not necessarily trap as much as it is. It has traces of mixtape on here, but it's just the aspect as far as saying it was kind of like a sub kind of aspect of like branching within those type pitches. Now originally it wasn't really as full on known as to how long ratchet and R and bass was going to kind of last within those type pitches back in like R and bass was going to last within those pitches between 2013 or so, pitch like that. Was just kind of some of those type phrase had its spell within those particular pitches. Definitely in a lot of sense, it's pretty sorely missed within these type fairs kind of pitch. I actually don't know as full bound as to what happened, particularly with Kid Ink. I remember this was one of his widespread type ones within pitches like that. Yeah, he dropped an album in 2012, 2014, 2015, and then way out in 2021, and then pitches like that. It was kind of fair. He had a series of mixtapes as well up to about 2016, and then he had like some EPs that came out in like the 2010s, fairs like that. So it's kind of pitch. When you think of like this particular folk, it's usually within the aspects of like the 2010s type fashion, particularly with this particular banging type album. It's kind of pitch. Same sort of variety around the hit type time, like I was saying with Race, the Race Rummer, some type pitches, but the aspects as far as saying. Nowadays, it feels hella throwbacks, this kind of pitch. It seems pretty unlikely within the type pitches. Chris Brown, some of these type, even with Chris Brown popping up, it's not as within the commonplace. It just doesn't have as much kind of like reception with like nostalgia. Doesn't have as much full bound type reception with like nostalgia as like the compared type aspects kind of pitch as far as saying paying attention like that hit type. It's not to say within the phrase if it doesn't, it's this kind of pitch when you think of hit type aspects within the pitch of like talking about like gems from like Ty Dolla Sign from like those particular times, like off of like the Beach House EP, like Paranoid and Or Nonsense, the pitches like that. But the aspects as far as saying still some good distinct type phrase. So fair about this folk, I have not reviewed this folk just yet. I do remember like partially some of the sounds that kind of went along with it. It was kind of fray. I remember picking like the CD up from like the library and some of the pitches amongst some of the stuff aspects kind of amongst it. Some of these folks within the product got around to them within certain type senses, but then kind of didn't as far as those physical ambits. The pitch as far as saying, particularly he pretty much it's within the pitch that the first half of 2014 was kind of an empty type spell. This within the pitch that apart from Future, who dropped who dropped like a prominent type trap album that was kind of a little bit more commercial gloss with Honest. There weren't like a real ton of folks that were kind of dominating around that time. Drake had some of that type fray with Nothing Was the Same. It was kind of the pitch that even he was somewhat mildly quieter around that time with that particular album. So it's kind of pitch. You think of like November 2013, January 2014, March 2014. So it's a pitch that's kind of probably this quieter type spells. Rick Ross was around, but it was just not as predominant full bound within those type pitches. Wide. Yo Gotti was doing solidly enough with like the mixtape type scene pitch like that. Meek Mill was doing pretty good with the pitch as far as saying this is products amongst. So it's kind of fair. It's kind of some spare type eras pitch like that in terms of like commercial type rap songs and pitches. But at least there was one top 15 single off the sound pitch like that. Some good nice phrase. There were 3 singles here within these type of aspects. So it's kind of fair as far as saying, but just paying attention towards that. Type tones of some of this and losing. There's a point I was trying to make here with some of the pitches. I don't remember it. Just trying to stay within these aspects. But the sound's going to get a 10 out of 10 pitch like that. I recommend all 13 songs. Now I'm going to come back to this album in the future because there's 18 songs up here on the deluxe edition. I'm going to review the 13 on the standard edition. So I'll return to this album later. It's a pitch as far as saying recommend all 13 on the standard edition. So 10 out of 10. To be able to say some pitch like that. There's some folks on here. Chris Brown's on here a couple of times. Machine Gun Kelly's on here on a good nice song. L. Varner's on here on a good nice song. Pusha T has a pretty hit type appeal on here. ASAP Ferg, August Alsina, sends to folks who pitch like that. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. This particular folk sounds exactly almost cadent. This particular folk, Kid Ink, sounds almost identical to Tyga as far as these first albums. So if you fuck with Tyga from like the Hotel California type days and the album with Rack City, I think Careless World, something like that, for Rise Last King from 2012, pitch like that, sounds like Rise feels just like within that particular variety, just feels like a carbon copy of that dude as far as this first album. And you get back to Tyga, but pitch like that. To be honest, I'm going to go down the list with these pitches, so... To be honest, Show Me's the hitting type ones, like a Liddy kind of throwback to Ratchet era, turn up to kind of get towards your pitch like that. This Vanilla Bounce, I definitely say. Loose and Real Good, since that. Loose and Real Good, since that Ferris just gets some margaritas and Ferris like that in your system. Guacamole. Definitely some guacamole type game pitch like that. So it's kind of fair. It's kind of in between. Like the tear up about this song is large enough within these pitches, but it's kind of a more commercial type one. It's one of those type ones. Usually the DJ Mustard type tunes kind of had more mixtape bound typeness. They charted, but it's just kind of fair apart from like the Ty Dolla Sign. Apart from like the Ty Dolla Sign, like Paranoid, so the pitch is kind of fair in terms like this was pretty close to being on like rhythmic every day as far as these pitches can happen. I think probably within the pitch you might have been able to catch this on like XM radio and some stuff pitches like that, like the satellite radio, some stuff here. So it's kind of pitch. This has like a decent amount of airplay being a top 15 single, but it's kind of pitch as far as saying this is kind of one where you would need like some sort of where you would need aspects of guacamole type game pitch like that, where it'd kind of be like a lunch party where some of these stuff pitches, where it'd be the product where there probably would be some tear up, but maybe not as full bound, where there's going to be endless kind of Bacardi and this shit faced in this pitch like that. Or probably it might be margaritas or possibly martini, maybe not martinis, but within pitches some kind of more fancy type drinks than pitch. I think other type ones apart from that. Probably Coronas within certain aspects like that as far as this pitch. I don't know. Within the fray of talking about like probably Smirnoff, some of the stuff pitched. Yeah, Smirnoff type night, flavored kind of Smirnoff, some of the stuff pitched amongst within those aspects. Margaritas definitely just more dinner party, or would be at places like a Super Bowl or just lunch type aspects, some of the pitches like that kind of phrase that just occasion kind of cut loose. So it's just a more silky kind of vanilla type one and like a more friendly, fair. More friendly type aspect than some stuff pitch, but yeah, definitely probably just divas in mind pitch like that, some guacamole type games pitches like that. Who's your team? Some stuff pitches, some stuff Fridays. You a Keanu Reeves fan, some stuff pitches, or a Leonardo DiCaprio fan, some stuff pitches aspects like that. But just the fair some of that type fray. If you're here to see a movie or some stuff pitches like that, or just supporting like a television type show, some sort of Netflix show pitch like that, hit type price. But the aspect kind of behind it is you down the second type single that says Tyga on there, and surprisingly Tyga's not on here a number of times. It's kind of pitch. Just it feels like this basically is Tyga enough these times. But it's good, nice pitches here, good products. So Is You Down's like a good ratchet kind of gulag, just got done with things, pitch like that. Definitely some just got done. Just pick up like lotion for a diva, pitch like that. Some stuff phrase to this standard errands within the pitch of disc. Got more target type fares, some stuff products, just picking up like Whole Foods, some of the stuff aspects like that, getting some cheeses in your system. So it's just a little bit. Some of this type fare amongst us down to talk about the tariff type fashion. It kind of has the tariff kind of on here, but it's kind of within the centering of just like the tone of just every day. It's a pretty like commercial type album within pitch as far as just like. Like you're gonna get tore up within the fashion of this. You get tore up and up within the fashion of some of these type fairs, but it's kind of within pitch of being within the neighborhood where it's kind of SFW, but it's also kind of within pitch, kind of the way Chris Brown kind of was in 2012 within the rhythmic type fashion. Yeah, he had the particular bad reputation of having beaten Rihanna in pitches like that, but he did have some of his largest hits around that time with like the Fame and Fortune albums, like. Look at Me Now and Sons Type 1s, the ones off the Fortune album, which I don't remember his full bound Sons Type pitch. He had a series of hit type 1s pitch like that, so it's kind of fair as far as just paying attention. Just kind of within the aspect of safe for work in certain type pitches, but also the product of like the tariff kind of being where you can actually get a groove to some of those type pitches. So it's kind of within that particular rhythm. It's kind of a tougher type balance to get to us within the full bound typeness, but pulled off pretty good. But the only thing about it was some of these type singles, Is You Down and Main Chick didn't chart as full bound. Main Chick was the top 60 single. Is You Down charted in like just the R&B hip hop charts, but it's just kind of pitch just saying it has some good has some good varieties, but it's just trickier type market to keep navigating this full bound in those pitches like that. But it's a good, nice for trying to balance it. Target type runs, like I was saying, pick up lotion, cheese it, Sons of Fairs is kind of more within a more or less healthy type hit, but BSing definitely Lark's going since the pitch is the aspect is kind of this meme pack pretty good within pitch like that. Just kind of get to some park tokes and pitch like that, so it's kind of fair. It's good, healthy, kind of glad to be done pitch like that. Sons of Fairs missed the aspect of like 415, 345 type aspects, just the initial type prime time type turn up within pitch, just more ratchet typeness. It's a rhythmic kind of prime time type tune pitch like that. Some of those type phrases probably seem like a pretty consistent kind of like XM radio type highlight within some of the pitches. Good pairs like that. Main Chick is a hitting type ones, like an excellent kind of steamy turn up to get. Main Chick, the third single off this album, is nice as well. It's like an excellent kind of steamy turn up worst song to get towards here pitch like that hit type phrase. So yeah, this has Chris Brown on here. Same thing with Show Me pitch like that. Good excellent 1-2 punch with these. Just Hypnotic and Bacardi in your system. Better fares like that on here. Definitely some Hypnotic and Bacardi louds, I'd say. Just how's the routine going pitch like that. Just standard phase for diva pitch like that. Just being stupid. Sunset products with that. It's probably one of the more prolific type ones off the album in terms of like the full bound Carnage pitch like that. Now it's kind of within phrase part of saying it still has like a relative kind of commercial, some degree of gloss on here, but it's kind of pitch part of saying this is some of those type ones where it's like, hey, you know, within the pitch, if the coworker type aspect is going to go from SFW to NSFW pretty quickly within since the pitch is, you know, within the next probably 20 or 45 minutes, you're going to bust out the Hypnotic fierce like that, going to start getting shit faced tore up since the pitch. So the kind of products part of saying. The way Nick Cannon would say pitch like that, it's about time to put the kids to sleep. Some of the fairs pitch like that. So as far as some of those stuff fairs, just getting towards the tear up just within some of that. Just aspects like that. But yeah, how's the routine? Some stuff actually just good standard type fairs that just getting out of like the kind of Thursday type primetime Thursday type combo pitch like that. So it's kind of fair amongst it. You glad you basically done pitch like that, sunset type phrase. But the aspects as far as getting towards some of those type phrases within that, have like some checks mixed nearby, just phrase that you brought along, pitch like that, sunset type phrase, but pitch like that, sunset phrase. But the aspects for us saying says hit type appeal, had pretty good crust him out within like the first half of 2014, pitch like that, some good nice appeals amongst it, but around that particular time I was messing more full bound, kind of in between like leftover Drake kind of R&B type flips, like Spotify bleeds like Drake in the Weekend, then also traces like trap leftovers within some stuff pitch, so it's kind of fair. I did within further start to catch more wind to like the more ratchet type fairs pitch like that, but I do remember songs like R.I.P. with Jeezy that was produced by DJ Mustard pitch like that, some of those hit type feels. But the aspects for us saying, so yeah, I recommend all the 13 songs out the standard edition, so 10 out of 10 album pitch like that. One of these type ones that's pretty nice on here is No Miracles. This has El Varner on the hook and then Machine Gun Kelly on here, good pitch like that. It's like a thorough radio grab and SOW kind of music break for you to get towards here. It's very similar aesthetic to Love the Way You Lie by Eminem type push about it, just off the recovery type aspect and that template, good pitch like that. Just target type fair zones that pitch, target type runs within an aspect like that day kind of sunshine within a relative kind of summer type shine about it, and like a more dredge type sense. There's some come throughs to kind of get towards with diva pitch like that, hit type feels. Feels just like songs like Stereo by MGK off of like No Miracles. Feels just like hit songs by MGK off of Lace Up, like Stereo and Invincible as far as this specifically happens. So definitely some throwback type pitches within that type variety. Feels right at home for him. Pitch like that. It's also pretty good tune. Obviously, it's a banging type tune within those pitches for Kid Ink, as well as a nice good radio grab within pitch like that. Good nice fares for it. Murda's a hitting type one. It's a good nice gem on here. It's a pretty good turned up type one. This feels like something Yo Gotti would have done in like 2013. He did have a song like this. I forget its full bound. I might put in the connotation. I forget. I want to say it had like Meek Mill on there as far as like the song I think is similar to Off I Am by Yo Gotti from 2013. It's either FU with Meek Mill or it's King Shit with T.I., one of those type pitches with an aspect. But Murr's definitely hitting type ones, like an excellent kind of occasion sound off to get towards here. It just definitely gives like some Kanye West from like the 2010 album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and Kid Cudi type style from around that time as well. This some Niggas in Paris type noise pitch like that. Kind of has some of that type variety from like the Watch the Throne type Days Sons type, more composition type pitches. Just kind of court diva easily within these type pitches, but being harsh as fuck pitch like that. It's being nasty type. Being a nasty type douchebag pitch like that, and I'll say douchebag in terms of actually being like a bug and pitch like that, but just being barbs being nasty within pitch like that, definitely some of those type pitches. You're looking like you just got electrocuted pitch like that, sunset type feels. But the aspects for saying some of those type pitches. The movements, the hitting type ones, like a leftover kind of DJ drama in 2000s, kind of Circulate by Jeezy and My Hood by Jeezy type flips pitch like that. Just a strip sweep to kind of get towards here. So it's kind of pitch. There are some strip songs that pitch like that. Now within the fray, when you get to more Midwest type places, pitch like that, it's not as much like a strip. But like in terms of California and like Nevada and some of these type places, pitches like that, Arizona, some stuff places out there, it's kind of more strip type aspects, boulevard type aspects. Definitely a strip sweep kind of just be amidst the fray, gas station type runs, pitch like that. Just Fritos type runs within those pitches, just kind of some pleb spirits as far as those pitches come. So just amidst the park, just gabbing with some of these type folks, just smoking a quick zag, some of these type variety amongst it, just mixtape type variety. It's also a pretty good break for you within like the aspects as far as talking about within the varieties of just talking about within the aspect of just got done. It's kind of similar to like fashions like Fort Minor and some stuff folks, whereas this was a great kind of just got done with things 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock p.m. pitch like that. Some of the stuff right. So it's a good kind of embrace type song, good welcome mat as far as supposed to happen, but definitely with the pitch just getting some good strip kind of sunshine. Hello World is nice on here. It's like a quality Big Sean and Homestead kind of flourish and ambition and get towards here. Just clean the home pitch like that. Just prove your words as far as you're supposed to have. So within pitch, if you said you're going to clean up the house and mop the floor, so it's a pitch just getting towards there. Just a variety. If it's your own house and you're doing it yourself, it's kind of pitch just coming through pitch like that. Pick up like some stuff variety. Just pull some weed, some stuff aspects when the pitch of just the aspect coming through for gal pitch like that. It's a good, nice, healthy kind of embrace of things as far as the supposed to have. Just typical kind of primetime type ball within pitch, just a little bit more vanilla bound within S to W touchdowns pitch like that. But it's kind of ambition type tune. Some of those type pitch definitely takes it back to Big Sean from Finally Rich type, from Finally Famous type days. A little bit of Wiz Khalifa in there from like Roy, a little bit of Wiz Khalifa in there from like Rolling Papers type days pitch like that. It's kind of a more composition type one pitch like that, but just get to some Homestead typeness pitch like that. Prove your word, pitch like that. Another good DJ Mustard produced type one off here is Rollin' as far as these pitches can have. It's like a banging combo with Show Me and Main Chick as far as these pitches can have. No Chris Brown this time, but still some good niceness off here. Just a two-step kind of swagging type song pitch like that. Spark up definitely within these tones. Just memes coming in hot as far as these pitches can have. So just loud packly pals pitch like that. Sounds as far as just further mess hall typeness and good pitches here. Just kind of the crunk type factor. You see like plenty of these type ones. Definitely feels like some of the hit type tunes off like the Fan of... Obviously, it feels like some of the hit type songs off a Fan of a Fan type album by Chris Brown and Tyga that was going to come out a year later, pitch like that. Definitely like hit songs like AO and Bitches and Marijuana as far as this pitch comes. So the action type pitches within some of that, just good, nice variety as far as getting towards like standard kind of bounce pitches, some of that stuff there. So just kind of a little bit within the same, pretty much. More of like a 1-2 punch with Show Me, not quite as vicious as Main Chick, but within the hit type appeals of just a good trio. Some of those type ones with like the ratchet type sounds of pitch like that, some of those hit type appeals. Tattoo of My Name's the hitting type ones, like a vivid and quality kind of starry embrace to get towards zero. This should take you back to like early 2010s. This is more mixtape, dap, hip type bound, very Drake like I'd have to say, particularly off of like the Thank Me Later and Take Care type days. Some of those type pitches feels like Drake ripped out of 2011. Some of those type aspects. Not quite as brooding as I'm on one, but some of that hit type appeal when he had the Midas touch, just Drake-like kind of prime time type relish, kind of get towards here, good pitches, just easily some dap piffs within those products. It's easily kind of a rhythmic kind of dap piff type single pitch like that, so hit type appeal feels that this would have been like a stereotypical kind of this would have been like the usual fair type of a Drake type song had he been on this one. As far as this pitch, I'm just standard manufactured type one. Now, it's not manufactured in terms of quality, but it's the pitch. This just feels like one of those. This just feels like one of those endless cranked out type ones that he would put out with that banging type. And that's a good pitch like that. Just hit type appeals. Get tore up, definitely exhilarates pitches like that. Hit type aspects. Good nice gem off here is no options. The hit type ones like an On the Strip and Boulevard, kind of later Sunshine to get towards here. Some of those type pitches, kind of the product of some of that type fair. Just good prime time, just a hood break free, definitely within those type pitches. Some mixtape flavor about this song as well. Good aspects there. It's just good, nice to get some swishers in your system. Fairs like that, definitely grape and strawberries, peach type ones, one of these type ones, tropical type ones. Excellent kind of buzz type anthem pitch like that. Now, more in the California type fair, it's definitely like some porch kickoff with them pitch like that. Just getting to the fray. I like the excitement going. So this kind of pitch and one of those type ones. Not so much. It's kind of some gulag typeness, but not as full bound where it's just like the aspect of like just the traffic rush and that sort of fair, the rush hour typeness. This kind of more amidst the fair. Just got back from like the gas station type fair pitch like that. Got like the smoke type product, figuring out the product. Kind of more amidst the block in the neighborhood pitch like that, figuring out the folks like the chirp type aspects, kind of get towards just a mixtape flavor, figuring out the product hit type mixtape just came out, pitch like that, some stuff appeals, get towards smoke and figure out the next most kind of it, just good dap piff type tune easy within those type pitches. We just came to parties, a nice one that says August Alsina on the hook, good pitches here. It's like a good mixtape, kind of wooziness to get towards here, just silky kind of pull aside, I'd definitely say. Very similar to like Main Chick, some stuff, ones like that, it's kind of within pitch of this. Diva definitely slaying pretty hard pitch like that. Just from the aspect, get some rose for said gal pitch like that. Just kind of grooving within these aspects. So kind of a good slow dance type fit within a relative touch sense, or at least a good slow mid tempo type one. It's a good excellent Drake type style buzz bop to kind of get within those parts. It's kind of a mini type occasion, not to say many occasion in terms of like the quality behind a pitch like that, but the aspect as far as just one of those type ones that just is kind of relative kind of good percolate kind of shindig and pitch like that. It's kind of aspect of this like a random kind of good Wednesday or Thursday type get together pitches like that. It's kind of within the aspect of distance. It's nice to have one of these particular type fairs on here within these type pitches or just aspects where it's not quite the most ferocious with the aspect, but still kind of variety to have them further type phrase where you don't have to just strictly wait. You don't just have to strictly wait until Friday, Saturday, get to like the vicious type one. So kind of like an Oasis type one for kind of halfway done with the week or something. Fairs within that kind of like, yep, this is a good bounty to have for some of these type phrase to have like that aspect of just like a kind of stopgap pitch like that. So the hit type feels with the aspect, just some good nice silk and pull aside pitch like that is good nice phrase. Get towards the crunkness factor of it. So get towards the crunkness factor of it. Accent pitches like that. I Don't Care is the hitting type one as well. It's like a twinkled kind of Spotify bleed and Drake style kind of bloodlet to get towards here. Just turned up, definitely I'd say. Smoking within your system, good fairs like that, but kind of some growls about it. So it's kind of fair. Some of the step ones. Now Drake would kind of do some step ones. It's kind of that sort of aspect, just not quite as silky and butter smooth as full bound as like Drake within those phrases, but it just kind of has like some R and bass. It has like some R and bass about within these type pitches. It's kind of within the pitch. It's a silky and rhythmic type song, but it's kind of pitch it, just having like that edge factor on top of that, so it's kind of fair dis. Possible suspenders type music pitch like that, so it's kind of very just. It's graceful and groomed within the pitch of looking decadent and some of those type fairs, but it's kind of aspects as far as like the edge type factor not being within the aspect of not having like some smoke type product in your system. So it's kind of within phrase as far as saying it's the edge type factor, but just not It's not necessarily as full bound silky to like the pitch of this thing that it's just going to be all particular Bailey's Irish and this fair so like ice cream and fairs like that. So it's kind of pitch for us and just kind of composition, just having like that particular fair. Kind of probably more the way that Lil Wayne would approach one of those type of songs for like Penthouse type ness and the Spotify type leads pitch like that. It's kind of very, it definitely has more Drake type style about it, but it's just kind of pitch just keeping the edge type factor within like the gnarliness kind of about it. So just get some get some ganja in your system, fairs like that. It's kind of a growl type one. Get some rumination going on top of that, good pitches amongst those at first. Just kind of pitches some of that type nest, just staring kind of embellished and tear up pitch like that. More than the King's hitting type one. I think this last one I haven't talked about off here, pitch like that. It's like a ghoulish and dismantled kind of paranoia to get. I think the hit song More Than the King's last type one I haven't talked about off here, pitch like that. It's like a ghoulish and dismantled kind of paranoia to get towards here. Just a foresty kind of snack run, I'd say. Some stuff pitches. It's the foresty kind of snack run, some stuff pitches, I'd say pitches like that. It's kind of a vintage kind of Dat Piff type out, some of the stuff there. So kind of has the Dat Piff type flavor, kind of the aspect of like folks like Waka Flocka, Juicy J, Project Pat, some stuff folks like that. Other type folks like Lil Durk and Chief Keef's. Other type folks like Lil Durk, Meek Mill, and Chief Keef pitches like that, kind of hit type appeal, just a little bit more commercialized within pitch like that. Now it's not to say full bound commercial, but this probably one of the more gas type ones off here. So nice to pitch, but still kind of the aspect that has a healthy kind of radio glam about it within those type pitches. Just some of those type ones really have the smokes in your system. Some stuff there is just kind of. It's like some neighborhood and forest type strolls pitch like that, is picking up like burritos and fairs like that, hitting up Taco Bell, getting like a good nice bean burrito pitch like that, quesadilla, some stuff fairs amongst it. It's vintage kind of Dat Piff type outs, just missed the pitch of it. Just extra kind of thoughts pitch like that. So kind of the dismantle kind of it, just kind of pitch like that usual type fray, but just some outing type fray to get some collect of it going, figure out the next modes kind of within those pitches, just figure out if Galley's station, someone's that pitch amongst it, whether or not going to pick up like a particular, whether or not going to pick up like a particular honey bun or like a particular aspect amongst like Mr. Goodbar, someone's that pitch amongst it, but good X and price for us, this pitch can happen just with an aspect for us, the praise can happen. So good nice pitches there within the products. So 10 out of 10 album within these type pitches. I think I talk about every last song on here as far as these pitches can happen. So within the phrase for us saying, social score gets a 10 as well as within the aspect. Now this, like I was saying, within these pitches had the casual type appeal as far as getting towards like the product. Of being like the rap type version of what Chris Brown was attempting to do between like 2012 about to That's the pitch of attempting to do what Chris Brown was attempting to do back between the pitch of about 2012 to about 2015, pitch like that within the Ratchet and DJ Mustard type era. So it's a pitch for us saying it nails the appeal as far as doing it within the quality of it, but it's just kind of pitch that it just felt like the theme and like the resonance amongst this album kind of dried up a lot quicker than it particularly kind of needed to, which is unfortunate. You look after the pitch, songs like Show Me, and I realized that the aspect kind of behind the flair amongst some of those DJ Mustard type songs, they sound similar in certain type senses, but still some nice pitch to just paying attention to like the variety, that just kind of the aspect behind some of these dance type jumps had it's had more appeal than like the pitch of how it particularly lasted. So it's kind of fair. It just seemed like it got old quicker than like the particular fray of what it needed to. So it's pitch like that as far as saying, it's just the aspect as far as saying plenty of tear up on here, pitch like that, getting to some plenty of tear up and pitch like that off here, getting to some guacamole type game with Diva, pitch like that, just some Denny part some dinner party type pull size pitch like that is kind of afraid to some of those type aspects and just kind of occasion type fits, or it would be coworker or healthy type fits in the aspect where it's not strictly just Bacardi and Red Cups all day within pitch like that, some type phrase, some target run type embrace type songs, some makeshift type ones on here like No Miracles pitch like that, some type phrase that has plenty of radio type grips within those pitches, pretty healthy type album with the aspects. It has the aspect of having like the tear up like the Friday type sense, but it's actually a little bit light. It's not a full bound kind of shit face watch your weight limit type album within the pitch, but it's kind of aspects part saying it's on here, but it's just kind of pitch. It has the aspect of just paying attention like the health bound type varieties, just the particular shit that you're going to do on like the Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesday. It's the particular shit that you're going to do on like the Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, pitches like that. So it's within as far as saying paying attention to that as well. But the aspect has pretty good balance amongst that. Some Drake kind of style, some Drake kind of style type. Some Drake and some Spotify kind of style type bleeds on here, pitch like that for those sorts of phrase flex and later shift type hours for just pitches of like schmooze and pitch like that. Some stuff is just cool. Just cool and bloodlet with Divas pitch like that, and some foresty kind of Dat Piff type snack runs on top of that, and like some good breakout type tunes like Niggas in Paris, like particular Murder and pitch pitch like that. So the hit type aspects, the spare, some strip type songs for like some gas station runs, a pitch like that. Playing these type ones, I'd say 10 social, just being able to stay pitch like that. Playing these type ones, you get tore up off here. It's in a healthy type sense, it nails the appeal. In terms of the future, like I said, within these type pitches, Kid Ink has not been around since like the early 2020s, which is 5 years ago now within these type pitches. But the aspects for us, and he has plenty of these type ones to get to in like the 2010s. There's plenty of those type fashions, probably some more prime type hits just like these off this particular one. This might have been his apex and pitch like that in terms of like the commercial type feel, but definitely the hit type pitch. I think he easily has more gems pitch like that. We'll get towards some more of these type ones, but this is a pretty good classic within those pretty good times. Definitely some good nostalgia.